All right, guys. So today, make sure that you turn to page notes 2.5, which is functions, and these are the equations and graphing. And we're going to go ahead and get started on them so that way you can get to your work faster. You do get to use your calculator, so you're going to want to have your calculator with you. I'm going to go ahead and clear my memory really quick by doing second plus 712, so that way everything from the other classes are out of it. Okay, so our first bullet says functions can also be represented by an equation, which we can also call a rule. Okay, the equation will generate ordered pairs by taking an input, which is x, that results in a certain output, which is y. Okay, the graph of an equation is the set of all its ordered pairs, which often forms a line, sometimes a curve. Okay, so this shows that we're inputting something into the function or the equation, and we get our output, which is y. So the x value is called the independent variable because you pick it. It doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't rely on anything. Now, the y value is called the dependent variable because it depends on whatever you put in for x. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to graph functions by a table. Okay, when you're graphing functions by a table, the first thing we're going to do, we haven't worked with y equals yet. You're going to press this top corner button, which is y equals. Since my problem is x plus 4, you're going to type x, and x is the button next to the green alpha. So we're going to hit x plus 4. As soon as you do that, if you press graph, it's going to graph it for you, but that doesn't help me get my order pairs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press second graph. When I press second graph, it pulls up the table. And if you cleared your calculator, it starts you right at 0. But if you look, they start at -5. You can only scroll up and down if you are on the X side. And right now it's bold on the X. So I'm going to scroll up until I hit -5. And then I'm just going to fill in those values. So when X is -5, Y is -1. I'm going to move my calculator. Y'all have yours to look at. When X is -4, Y is 0. When X is -2, Y is 2. And when X is 0, Y is 4. Once you have your 4 numbers filled in, you're going to plot points. So we practiced the coordinate plane the other day. So to plot -5, 1, you're going to go left 5 and down 1. And then to plot -4, 0, you're going to go left 4 and stay on the axis. For -2, 0, we go left 2 and up 2. And for 0, 4, we stay put and go up 4. Now, if you look at your dots should follow a line. If they're not in a straight line form, then you're doing something wrong on plotting and you need to replot. You're going to draw as straight of a line that you can in with arrows on the end because this line will go forever. And you have just finished the problem. Now for number 2, you're just going to go back to y equals and hit clear. Okay, to get that fraction, we do alpha y equals enter. I'm going to type in 3/4, and then I need x, that's the button next to the green alpha, -2. Okay, we can look at the graph, but remember, I really need that table. So I'm going to press second graph to get to the table, and they start at -4. Well, when x is -4, y is -5. And then I'm going to scroll to 0. When x is 0, y is -2. Now I'm going to scroll down to 4. And when x is 4, y is 1. And when x is 8, y is 4. Okay, so when I plot these, -4, -5, I'm going to go left 4, down 5. 0, -2, I stay put and then go down 2. 4, 1, I'm going right 4 and up 1. And 8, 4, my graph doesn't go to 8, so I don't have to worry about plotting it. So I just connect my lines. And I'm done. Okay. For 3, back to y equals, we're going to clear this out and we're going to type in 3x. I'm going to go to that table. They start at -2, so I'm going to scroll back up to where I can see -2. It goes -2, -1, 0, 1. So I'm going to look at these first four numbers. So I need -6, -3, 0, and 3. So when x is -2, I had -6, I had -3, I had 0, I had 3. Okay, now I plot my points. -2, -6, that's left 2, down 6. -1, -3 is left 1, down 3. 0, 0 is right in the origin, and 1, 3 would be right 1, up 3. And then I connect my lines. And remember, we put an arrow because an arrow shows that it still keeps going. Now, you're going to see a small change on 4, not a hard change, just a small one. So I'm going to go back to y equals, clear it out, and type in my new equation, negative, we need to open up a fraction, 3 over 2, and then I put x plus 2. I'm going to go to the table. When I'm at the table, I'm looking for -2. When x is -2, I can move the calculator this way. Y is 5. When x is 0, y is 2. When x is 2, y is -1. And when it's 4, it's -4. Okay, so when I go to plot my points, -2, 5, I'm going to go left 2 and up 5. 0, 2, I stay put 0 and go up 2. 2, -1, I go right 2 and down 1. 4, -4, I go right 4 and down 4. Okay, so as you can see, this time the difference is my line went downhill instead of uphill. When you are doing these, just a hint for you in case you wanted to know, whatever is with x, if it's positive, it's going to go uphill. If it's negative, it's going to go downhill. Okay, so now I'm going to flip to the back of these. I got 2 more graph ones, and then I'll show you how that we can do the other ones just as fast or as easy. And I'll show you 2 different ways you can do it, and I'll let you pick the way you like better. Okay, for number 5, back to y equals, I'm going to do negative x plus 1, and I go to the table. First number I want is -3. So when x is -3, I have 4. When x is -1, I have 2. When x is 0, I have 1. And when x is 4, I have -3. Okay, now that I have those filled in, I've just got to plot my points. And remember, x is negative, so this should be a downhill line. So I'm going to go left 3 and up 4. Then I go left 1 and up 2. I stay put at 0 and up 1. And then I go right 4 and down 3. And if I connect those dots, they're all in a straight line. Put my arrows, and it is going downhill. Okay, so for the last problem, we're going to do 1 minus, then I need a third, x. Okay, going to the table. I'm going to start with -3 again, which is 2. And then they ask for 0, which is 1. 3 is 0, and 6 is -1. Okay, from here, I just plot my points. So I left 3, up 2, stay put at 0, up 1, go right 3, stay put at 0, and then right 6, down 1. Okay, connecting those dots. I missed a dot, my bad. Put your arrow. And you should have known this was going downhill because there was a minus sign in front of the x. That means it's negative. Now, for the next few examples, there are 2 ways you can do it. You can skim through the table still, or I'm going to show you another way. If you press second mode and go back to the normal screen in your calculator, what you can do is you can put this part in for x. And if you type it exactly as it is, you need brackets and everything, it'll give you your answer in order. So what I mean is you're going to, instead of putting y equals, you're going to do x minus 5. Well, the domain is x. So we're going to start with a bracket. So you're going to just press second parentheses. 4 comma is above 7. 6 comma 8. Second close parentheses. You have to hit second to get that bracket. It cannot be a parentheses. It has to be a bracket. Once you do that, the rest of the problem has a -5. And if you hit enter, it'll give you your answer. And all you have to do is put r equals, because we're finding the range, open up a bracket, -1, 1, and 3. Okay, that's one way you can do it. Or the other way, which I've shown you plenty of times now, and I'll show it to you one more time. You can just put in x minus 5, go to the table, find where x is 4, -1, where x is 6, +1, and where x is 8, 3. I'm going to show you the new calculator way, so that way if you like that and don't want to take as much time, you can do that. So going to number 8, I'm going to press second mode to get out of this. I'm going to take this and plug it in for x. So everything else in the problem stays. So I'm going to do 3. And since I see x, I open up that bracket by pressing second parentheses, -1, comma, 0, comma, 1, comma, 4. Second close parentheses, and then +1. Okay, once you have everything typed, you got to keep that 3 and that 1. If you don't write it, it won't work. You just hit enter, and your answer, your range is going to be -2, 1, 4, and 13. Okay, moving to the next one. I'm going to take these brackets, plug them into x. So we're going to do 4 minus, instead of x, I open up the bracket, second parentheses, -2, comma, 3, comma, 5, second close parentheses. And since there's nothing after the x, I just hit enter. So my answer is 6, 1, and -1. So I put r equals 6, 1, -1. And I keep going on. Okay, for my next one, alpha y equals 3/5. Instead of x, I plug this in for x. So second open parentheses, -10 minus, comma, 0, comma, 5, second close parentheses. And then there is a +2. Don't forget about that +2 or it won't work. And my range is 8, 2, and 5. And that's all you have to do. Okay, moving on still. For number 11, we're going to do 7 minus, and then you have a fraction, 1/2. Instead of x, we put this in for x. So second open bracket, -4, comma, 0, comma, 6, second close bracket. There's nothing after x, so I can hit enter. And I'm going to get 9, 7, and 4. So r equals 9, 7, 4. For number 12, we have -2/3. I put this in for x. Second open parentheses, -12 minus -6 minus 3, second close, and then +9. Don't forget about that +9 after. I hit enter, and my range is 17, 13, and 7. Okay, 2 more. And remember, if you don't like this method, you can use the table. We're going to type 7 minus 4, and we're going to plug in x. So that means we open up our bracket, and we put that in for x. -3, comma, -1, comma, 5. Second close bracket. And there's nothing after the x, so I just hit enter. And I get 19, 11, and -13. Okay, my last problem. I need to move this up a little bit for y'all. Okay, we start with 1/4, so alpha y equals 1/4 x. Oh, nope, not x. I'm going to delete that. I put this in for x. So second open parentheses, -8, comma, -4, comma, and 12. Second close your parentheses. And then it has a -5 afterwards. Don't forget your -5. Therefore, my range is -7, -6, and -2. Okay, y'all, we'll have something to work on afterwards. So if you have any questions, just ask us for help.